Jagadev, letting go is not losing but gaining clarity. What's the Vedic take on this? Jagadev's letting go is central to moksha, the final aim of life. Gurudev says, drop the past like a dry leaf. In conclave, pivotal moments occur when characters release control or vengeance. Sudarshan Kriya clears mental patterns, meditation loosens identity with the ego, while Agnihotra and Rudrahoma are powerful tools to burn inner burdens. Like in the movie, when we let go, truth surfaces. This doesn't mean weakness. It means making space for something bigger. Surrender brings freedom. The film establishes destiny is shaped by discipline. How does this match with spiritual routines? Discipline or niyama creates momentum in spiritual life. Gurudev explains that daily habits shape our destiny in conclave. Characters who adhere to dharma, not convenience, emerge victorious. Sudarshan Kriya practice daily calms the mind, builds resilience, while Sandhya Vandanam, when done with Shraddha, aligns the individual with cosmic rhythm. Trikal Sandhya allows reflection, awareness, and direction. Just as the film's protagonist transforms through self discipline, so can we, one breath, one prayer, one day at a time. What does sound carries intention mean in terms of mantras and pujas? Sound is energy. Gurudev explains that mantras work because they carry subtle vibrations beyond words. In conclave, a single line or chant changes entire situations in our tradition. Chanting the Gayatri Mantra or Sri Rudram infuses the environment with intention. When we chant with devotion, the space changes. Homas and pujas amplify this with collective sankalpa. Sudarshan Kriya also activates sound internally, creating coherence. Sound isn't just heard, it's felt just as in the movie. One sacred sound can shift an entire destiny. Forgiveness doesn't just heal others, it heals you first. How do spiritual practices support this? Gurudev says forgiveness is freeing yourself from your own anger. In Conclave, a crucial scene shows a character liberating himself from years of hatred by forgiving his enemy. So Darshan Kriya helps release deep-seated emotions stored in ourselves. Padma Sadhana softens the heart in the Vedic tradition. Prayashchita or atonement and pujas like Navagraha Shanti Homa promote forgiveness and peace. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's spiritual strength. Like in the film, it is the turning point that heals broken bonds and leads to inner peace. One person's truth can shift a nation. What makes this possible? In the film, one character's courage to speak truth, even at great personal cost, starts a transformation. Gurudev teaches truth is not what you believe, but what uplifts everyone. Satsang reveals this higher truth shared in community. In ancient tradition, the rishi who speaks satya gains vaka shakti or a power of speech. Recalls and then Sanyam sadhana of level 1 and level 2 purify perception, making your truth not personal but universal. Just as that one speech in the movie changes hearts, so can one realize individual uplift an entire society. Fear of the unknown limits potential. How can one overcome this fear? Gurudev often says fear is love going in the wrong direction. In conclave, characters are paralyzed until they face the unknown. Sudarshan Kriya reduces cortisol levels and clears anxiety. Meditation reconnects you with the eternal self, where fear has no place. Practices like Sandhya Vandanam done at transitional times of day train the mind to accept change. Homas like Chandi Homa and Agnikara invoke divine protection. Just like in the film, when one surrenders fear, life opens up it in unexpected, beautiful ways. Ancestral wisdom is a compass, not a burden. How do Vedic practices uphold this idea? In the film Old Tradition Guide New Solutions, Gurudev says wisdom is seeing the old in the new and the new in the old. Upanayams and Devanam and Agnikaram are not outdated. They are encoded with cosmic rhythms. They link us to our lineage. Pitra Shanti rituals heal generational blocks. Satsangs help reinterpret stories and itihasa for the modern age. Like in the movie, ancestral guidance doesn't shackle us, it anchors us, enabling wise action amidst chaos. Transformation begins in silence. How does this reflect in spiritual tools? Silence is not absence, it's the source. Gurudev's silence courses are life changing because they allow deep purification. In conclave, a turning point is when a character goes inward in solitude. Sanyam sadhana of level 1 and level 2. Practice in silence activates intuition. In silence, Sudarshan Kriya becomes deeper, pujas more potent. The film shows that true power is born from stillness. When the mind quiets, the right action arises. Silence isn't retreat, it's preparation for impact. Jagadav service anchors you amidst chaos. How is Seva both spiritual and stabilizing? In the climax of conclave, selfless service brings divided communities together. Gurudev says Seva is the expression of joy within you. Seva gets you out of your head. It dissolves the ego and expands identity, whether cooking food during a flood or helping children study. You touch divinity. In Vedic tradition, Seva is Karma Yoga. Agni Karyam, Sandhya Vandanam, and Pujas are personal service to the divine. Seva, in turn, is devotion in action, especially needed during worldly turbulences. Listening can be revolutionary. What's the deeper spiritual value of listening? Listening is a lost art. Gurudev says only when the mind is calm can it truly listen. In conclave, conflict shift when someone deeply listens rather than reacts. Satsang is not just singing, it's also listening to wisdom. In Ayurveda, the ears are linked to Vata or air element to calm through meditation and breath. In Sandhya Vandanam, we chant Shanno Mitra, or asking even opposing forces to befriend us. Listening resolves judgment, it welcomes unity, just like in the transformative scenes of the film. Rituals then consciously become portals of power. How do we make rituals meaningful? Gurudev explains that a ritual without awareness is superstition, but with awareness it becomes sacred science. And conclave characters rediscover rituals not as blind obedience but powerful transmission tools. Agnihotra done with Sankalpa purifies the air and mind. Homas like Rudra Abhishekam balances energies. Upanayam trains children in sacred discipline while Sandhya Vandanam teaches alignment thrice a day. When done with devotion, not just performance, rituals uplift both the doer and the environment, just like in the redemptive arc of the movie. Gratitude converts obstacles into opportunities. What's a practical approach here? In the film, one character shifts from complaint to gratitude and doors open. Gratitude, Gurudev says, gratitude is the mother of all virtues. Pranayama helps us enter the mind, while Kriya releases resentment. Writing gratitude before bed is a practice taught in Art of Living courses. Daily chanting of Om Namo Narayana develops surrender in Ayurveda. Consuming food with gratitude improves digestion. Just as in the movie, gratitude reveals hidden blessings and attracts more abundance. Inner cleanliness reflects in outer action. How does sadhana create this harmony? Purity isn't just physical, it's energetic. In conclave, one character's integrity shines because of his inner clarity. Gurudev teaches that inner pollution like jealousy, greed, and anger reflects in actions. Sudarshan Kriya clears his inner clutter. Satsang uplifts the emotional feelings. Sandhya Vandanam, the ritual bathing and chants purify the inner and outer simultaneously. Homas clean the energy field of a home, just like in the film. When the inside is clean, the outer naturally follows. Friendship is a spiritual practice when it is rooted in growth. How does this manifest in daily life? Nevertheless, in Conclave, one of the deepest bonds shown is between two characters who challenge and support each other spiritually. Gurudev reminds us that true friendship elevates, not entangles. Satsang nurtures such soulful connections free from drama and rooted in shared purpose. Doing seva together or attending silence programs as friends creates bonds deeper than gossip or entertainment. Vedic scriptures talk about mitra sneha or friendship that leads to moksha. In everyday life, choose friends who support your sadhana. That's how friendship become divine. Delays are not denials, they are divine timing. How do we practice patience with trust? The hero in conclave waits years for justice, but when it comes, it's perfect. Gurudev says, have faith in the timing of the universe. Kriya clears frustration, and Sanyam sadhana builds trust in the present moment. Sanyam sadhana, both of level 1 and level 2. Sandhya Vandanam aligns you to cosmic rhythms. Morning, noon, and dusk are metaphors for life stages. The Vedic concept of kala or time teaches surrender. Like in the film, if we stay steadfast and pure in action, results come in divine time. When you lead with humility, you command with grace. How does humility impact leadership? A powerful scene in Conclave shows a character apologizing to his team and regaining their trust. Gurudev often says humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. Leadership rooted in humility listens more, reacts less. Meditation reduces ego. Seva teaches servant leadership. The best Vedic leaders like Rama and Krishna were also the most humble, and they were great servant leaders. Sandhya Vandanam instills daily humility by saluting the cosmic order. True authority flows when ego dissolves. Creativity blossoms in a calm mind. How do spiritual tools enhance creativity? In Conclave, a creative breakthrough arrives during a silent retreat. Gurudev says calmness is the cradle of creativity. When thoughts settle, insight arises. Sudarshan Kriya oxygenates the brain, boosting clarity. Padma Sadhana opens energetic blocks. Homas like Saraswati Homa enhance learning and expression. In ancient times, poets and scientists began their work with pranayama and mantra japa. Today, to artists and innovators who meditate report deeper inspiration, just like the key turning point in the film. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. How is this lived daily? One scene in Conclave features a saintly character who influences many by living in simplicity. Gurudev says life itself is a testament to simple food, simple words, but profound depth. Ayurveda promotes a sattvic lifestyle, light food, clear speech, humble behavior. Seva encourages detachment from luxury. Sandhya Vandanam strips spiritual practice to its essence. Breath, water, and mantra. Simplicity attracts praise. In the film, the character who chooses a simple life becomes the most influential. Conflict dissolves in the light of awareness. What does this look like in practice? In Conclave, a bitter conflict melts when characters see from the other's perspective. Gurudev teaches awareness is seeing without resistance. Satsang helps shift emotional lenses. Meditation increases your response gap. Ayurveda emphasizes sattva, balance that allows clearer perception. In traditional practices, Agni burns inner restlessness, like in the movie. Awareness brings resolution not by force but by inner alignment. Joy is your nature, not a reward. How to return to this natural state? A major turning point in Conclave is when a character finds joy in service, not success. Gurudev says joy is not something to attain, it's something to uncover. Sudarshan Kriya clear sadness. Padma sadhana helps joy arise from stillness, serving and singing bhajans in satsangs melts sorrow. In Sandhyavandana mantras like Om Bhurbhuvasva reconnects us with the bliss layer of Anandamaya Kosha. The film reminds us joy isn't out there, it's within waiting to shine. Boundaries are love in action. How to assert them with compassion. In the film, one character learns to walk away from toxicity not in anger but with dignity. Gurudev says saying it so no is also seva if it protects your energy. Silence programs help you reflect on energy drains. Seva teaches compassionate strength. Ayurveda suggests ojas protecting rituals like abhyanga or oil massage and mantra chanting to preserve spiritual boundaries. Like in the film, when boundaries are set with clarity and kindness, respect deepens and not conflict. Your body is your temple. How to honor it daily. Conclave shows a character who heals from trauma through yoga and Ayurveda. Gurudev reminds us the body is the vehicle for enlightenment. Sudarshan Kriya clears toxins. Ayurveda guides food, sleep, and seasonal routines. Satsang uplifts emotional health, while Agni Karam and pujas and homas purify subtle energy. In Sandhya Vandanam, you offer water and breath as worship, acknowledging this body as divine. Respecting your body is not vanity, it's a spiritual act. Hope is a discipline, not an accident. How to practice it consistently? In the movies, his darkest, a character chooses hope, sparking massive change. Gurudev says, even in the storm, hold the umbrella of hope. Kriya rebuilds inner strength. As satsang renews the heart. Rituals like dawn, sandhya vandanam, or sunrise puja tune you to fresh beginnings. Chanting Om Namah Shivaya purifies despair. Hope, like muscle, grows stronger with practice. As in Conclave, a single act of hope can become the dawn of transformation. Jai Gurudev, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. How do we make peace with betrayal? In Conclave, a pivotal scene shows a character forgiving his own brother for betrayal, freeing both of them. Gurudev says forgiveness doesn't excuse behavior, it frees your mind. Sudarshan Priya removes stored emotional pain. Padma Sadhana softens the heart, chanting Om Namo Narayana stabilizes inner harmony. Forgiveness becomes natural when we understand karma. In Sandhya Vandanam, the Marjana mantra washes impurities, both physical and emotional. Life in the film, like in the film, forgiving releases lifetimes of bondage. You can be firm without being harsh. What's the spiritual secret to graceful assertion? One character in Conclave stands for her ground respectfully without aggression, embodying Shakti and dignity. Gurudev often says assertiveness is not rudeness. Practicing Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2 trains us to speak less but with power. In Ayurveda, clarity of speech comes from a balance. Vishuddhi Chakra, Sandhya Vandanam teaches self command through repetition and rhythm. Just as in the film, your firmness becomes respected when rooted in calm awareness, not ego. In serving others, you meet your higher self via seva transformation. A movie scene in Conclave shows youth cleaning up after a disaster, rekindling community strength. Gurudev's word echo. Seva is the expression of joy. Serving without expectations dissolves self-centeredness. In satsangs and seva projects, people realize their strength. Vedic rituals like Annadana or food offerings amplify merit. Seva activates the Annamaya or Pranamaya koshas, just like in the movie. Transmission begins when we stop asking, what about me, and start giving. Clarity comes when we detach from outcomes. How can we apply this in work and relationships? A lawyer in Conclave wins the case only after letting go of desperation. Gurudev teaches do your best and let go. Sudarshan Kriya removes restlessness. Meditation gives space from mental noise, while Sandhya Vandanam teaches surrender, offering your actions to the divine thrice daily. In the Gita, Lord Krishna says, Karmanyavadikaraste, you have the right to action, not the outcome. Just like in the film, detachment brings insight, not indifference. Nature heals faster than any therapy. How can we connect to nature in spiritual ways? In a key scene, characters retreat to a mountain ashram and find healing. Gurudev says nature is not just beautiful, it's intelligent. Agnihotra heals the environment and subtle body. Ayurveda recommends barefoot walking and sun gazing. Even Sandhya Vandanam performed near water uses the elements to awaken consciousness. In the film, nature becomes a mirror of inner stillness in real life. A daily walk in silence among trees can awaken deep peace. You are not alone. Your ancestors, gurus, and devas walk with you. How do we stay connected to this lineage? The protagonist in Conclave realizes he is fulfilling his forefathers' dream. He cries with reverence. Gurudev teaches that we carry the prayers of our ancestors. Performing Tarpanam, Agnihotra, or chanting Guru Stotram keeps the bond alive. Upanayana initiates the sacred journey. Sandhya Vandanam connects us with Rishi consciousness daily. When we live dharmically, we feel this invisible support, just as the hero felt empowered in that climactic moment. The divine waits behind the veil of silence. Why is silence essential? Silence retreats and conclave lead to breakthroughs. Gurudev reminds us all creativity, all solutions arise from silence. Sanyam sadhana of level 1 and level 2 and Sahat Samadhi meditation cultivate inner stillness. In Vedic tradition, Mauna or vow of silence was practiced to gain Atmajnana, or even in Sandhya Vandanam, long pauses allow inner listening, like the film's Silent Turning Point. Silence isn't emptiness, it's access to the sacred. Gratitude transforms suffering into strength. How do we cultivate gratitude in tough times? A mother in conclave thanks fate for teaching her compassion through loss. Gurudev says gratitude is the fertilizer for joy. Writing a gratitude journal after Kriya magnifies positivity in Ayurveda. Morning gratitude with the water intake purifies thoughts. Performing Abhivandanam or honoring elders anchors us in humility. Sandhyavandanam mantras like Adya Hridaya or Hridayam instill strength toward reverence. Through reverence in the movie, what begins as a sorrow ends as sacred strength. Through gratitude, you don't need to understand everything to trust how to embrace the unknown. The final act in Conclave shows that a protagonist letting go into divine will. Gurudev guides the faith is knowing there is a loving intelligence behind everything. Tools like Sahat Samadhi meditation and Guru Puja deepen trust beyond intellect. Vedic pujas honor the surrender. Sandhya Vandanam honors the sun not because we understand it, but because we experience its grace, like in the movie Letting Go opened a portal to unexpected miracles. Endings are only gateways to higher beginnings. What is the final message of conclave, and how do we live with it? The film closes with a death, but it's not an end, it's a spiritual rebirth. Gurudev often says life is eternal, only its expressions change. Daily practice of Kriya, Sadhana, and rituals like Sandhya Vandanam prepare us to greet change with strength. Just as the character's soul journey begins after death, we too must remember every moment is a chance to start anew. With the grace of the Guru and guidance of Dharma, every ending becomes a sacred passage. Jai Gurudev.